and Council for the City of Snellville, Georgia, Monday, January the 12th, 2026. We have a quorum. All members are present. We're going to start tonight with an invocation to be given by Pastor Dr. Quincy Brown.
Will you pray with me? Oh God, for the beauty of a day that we've never seen and one in which we will never see again. For the coolness and crispness of a winter day, we give you thanks. As we gather here together, we are reminded that this is a new year, time where things can begin again. So God, we ask your mercies upon us as a city, as a council, as a mayor, as citizens, a place where everybody is proud to be someone. May everything that we do tonight and going forward for this year, whether it be a resolution or not, be pleasing to you. And we make this prayer in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. And tonight we have some members of the Cub Scout Troop 526 that are going to come forward and lead us in the pledge. Gentlemen. Thank you all for being here tonight. We have a few items under ceremonial matters. I will announce item A, which is recognition of the Active Adult Center Volunteer of the Year Award. We're going to postpone until our next meeting. Ms. Fenn is sick tonight, so give her some time to get better and accept that at the next meeting. So we have next Proclamation 2026-01. Recognition of St. Oliver Plunkett Catholic Church winning Best Tree with the most donated items at the 10th Annual Snellville Festival of Trees 2025. Whereas the 10th Annual Festival of Trees was created by Experience Snellville to allow business owners, churches, schools, and residents the opportunity to showcase their Christmas trees in Snellville City Hall while helping the community give hunger the boot. And whereas all non-perishable food items, toiletries, and toys were accepted and placed under the tree of choice, with each item registering as a vote, all non-perishable items were donated to the Southeast Gwinnett Co-op, and all toys were donated to Toys for Tots. Whereas 13 entries displayed trees throughout City Hall with a combined effort of 6,074 donations in a 4-week period. St. Oliver Plunkett Catholic Church Holy Family Ministry tree received 4,225 votes, receiving the award for the best tree. And whereas St. Oliver Plunkett Catholic Church parishioners donated generously with a spirit of giving back to the community, vibrant blue Advent bags filled the halls of City Hall on a regular basis throughout the 10th Annual Festival of Trees. Therefore, I, Barbara Bender, Mayor of the City of Snellville, Georgia, where everybody's proud to be somebody, do hereby join with our City Council, Experience Snellville, and the citizens of Snellville to recognize the faithful servants of St. Oliver Plunkett Catholic Church who are called to action by faithful giving and joyful witness to the community for their outstanding support in the 10th Annual Festival of Trees. Proclaim this 12th day of January 2026. So anyone that's here from St. Oliver's, if you want to come up and receive your plaque from Kelly and receive the proclamation. And Kelly, you want to say a few things?
I do. I would. Thank you so much, Mayor. I just want to say this was amazing, the 10th Annual Snellville Festival of Trees. And I want to thank City of Snellville for hosting this at City Hall. It really brings a lot of beauty. People love to see all the trees in City Hall throughout the holiday season. And I want to invite everybody from St. Oliver's to come on up. And I want to thank Mayor Pro Tem Norman Carter. He helped me immensely count that over 6,000 items that were under the tree. So I know, they would call me and say, Marquita at the front desk, Kelly, the bags are getting overflowing. And I would come and I'd call Norman, and Norman says, I'm on it, and he would take care of it. And just thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a big job to do by yourself, and I know you did the majority of it, so thank you very much for your help. Please join us, because you were a very big part of helping them with that. And I want to thank all the other participants too, because this is our community, and the more people that participate, it just brings our community together. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the proclamation first for St. Oliver's. We're going to take a group picture, and then I'm going to invite all the other businesses and organizations to join us, and I'll give them their plaque, and then we'll take a group picture, okay? So I want to also say Don Britt is here with us tonight. He's the president of Experience Snellville, and all the other board members, you want to come up and join us too? Yes.
I'm still getting used to it.
I'm sorry. It's just us. And Charlene's also, come on, Charlene.
Get them nice and tight. We should be able to. I can. I think, yeah. Nope. It's that podium again. All right, 1, a 2, a 3. And one more. Thank you.
All right, stay put, everybody, stay put. Okay, the next group, will the Kingdom of Cambodia come up? Pegna Donnelly and her group, I'll tell you, they just really, they really brought it. I think they had so much toiletries that's so much needed at the co-op. I mean, Laura was just so appreciative, so thank you, P. Okay. Oh, I know. So humble. Okay. Thank you so much. Welcome. Okay. We're going to just go ahead and join the group. Join the group. We're going to keep calling only because there's a lot.
Gotta get real tight.
All right, the next is the Snellville Historical Society. We've got about 9 plaques to give out, so everybody snuggle up. Get close.
Shorter people in front.
Thank you for participating.
Okay.
All right, the Snellville Lions Club.
Oh, wait, some more?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for listening to my crazy rant.
You're okay. You're okay. Okay, I've got Lawrenceville Antiques, and Amy is here, and Pennsylvania John's Antiques and Stuff in Loganville and Lawrenceville. I'm going to let you hang on to both of those until I get over there. We have the Snellville Farmers Market. Cub Scouts. Scout Pack 526.
Thank you.
Welcome. Snellville Community Church. The American Legion Auxiliary Unit 232 Cricket. Is anybody from the Red Hatters here? I don't think so. Exceptional futures, anybody with exceptional futures? No. Okay, I think this is it.
There you go.
Smile, my Cub Scouts. We did a great thing. We're proud of it.
All right, look this way. 1, 2, 3, and one more. Oh wait, let me get Cricket's picture. Hold on. Hold on. Look, look, look. Thank you. You're welcome. Good job, good job.
Good job. Well done. Good job. Okay, can you, Cub Scouts, come on over by these chairs?
Now we have item C. Again, Kelly McAloon, take over the show here, outgoing recognition of some board members for the Tourism and Trade.
You know, I've been on the board for 2 years, but with Snellville Tourism and Trade Experience Snellville since inception in 2010. We've gone through different board members, but I'll tell you, every year it's just so amazing. Everybody's so engaged. Everybody's such an asset to bring back really to this community. And I want our president, Don Britt, to stand up here with me because he's also been here on this board as president since inception in 2010. So do you want to have anything to say before we award?
Yeah, I just want to say we've had a long line of volunteers. This whole organization was born from volunteers out of the farmers market, and Gretchen was one of the first ones. And of those volunteers, we're just proud of the volunteers we've had and the board members we've had, and we're proud to see them go on and be council people and be a big part of this community. So thank you so much.
Okay, so the first award tonight will go to Miss Michelle Brown. Come on down. We appreciate your service to STAT for 2 years. And if you don't, can you get a picture, Brian? Okay. Thank you for all you do. You're a great asset to our board. Hang on 1 second. Sorry. And the next award is to CJ. Come on down. You know, I just have to say this about CJ too. You know, it didn't matter what we were doing, when we were doing it. When CJ rolled up, what can I do, Miss Kelly? What can I do? And he was just always rolled up his sleeves and ready to work to the end. So come on down. We appreciate all your efforts this last year. CJ, the council stole him from us. He was only with us a year, but he'll serve the community just as well, if not better, on council. Thank you, CJ. Thank you.
Now we'll move on to the minutes. Is there a motion? Okay, there's a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. We have one invited guest. We have Captain Chris Raymer with the Gwinnett Corps Officer with the Salvation Army.
Thanks so much for having me. Thank you all for having me tonight. I am Captain Chris Raymer. My wife Carla and I moved here in June from Greensboro, North Carolina, to be the Corps officers here for the Salvation Army in Gwinnett. And Corps officer is it's a funny title. It says we're the pastors of the Salvation Army Church, as well as executive directors for our social service agency for the Salvation Army. Our main building, our only facility in Gwinnett, is 3455 Sugarloaf, across from Publix and Lidl. If you're ever going by, please stop in. We'd love to say hi. The Salvation Army's been in both mine and my wife's family for many generations, and having such a rich heritage, if you know younger ages, you'd ask me what I wanted to do, and I said, no, I don't want to be in the Salvation Army because my family and, you know, for generations have been in it. But look at God. Look at God. I went to Oklahoma State University, thought I was going to do hotels in my life, own them. I wanted to run them. Worked at the Omni Hotel downtown for many years until God said, no, I got other plans for you. My wife and I entered Salvation Army Seminary just south of downtown Atlanta in 2015. Our first appointment was in Frederick, Maryland. We served 4 years, and then Greensboro, North Carolina, another 4 years, and now we are here. We have 3 beautiful young children, 11, 7, and 5, all at Brookwood Elementary, and they are loving it, loving life, and if they're loving it, we're loving it. So we are proud residents of Snellville, as we're glad to be here. Just a little bit about, I know many of us heard about the Salvation Army, just a very quick history. William and Catherine Booth began the Salvation Army under its first name in 1865, the East London Christian Mission. So in 1865, that is what it was called. They started this movement to bring Christian faith to the poor, to the homeless, to the destitute, who were often unwelcome in many churches and social circles. They met people on the streets offering food and shelter, realizing that material needs often blocked the spiritual outreach, leading to a unique blend of evangelism and social service. Booth was notorious for preaching in local pubs and restaurants. He would take old songs and put new words to it and quickly caught people's attention. He was known for 3 S's: soup, soap, and salvation. Everyone knew him for that: soup, soap, and salvation. People were hungry, so he fed them. People were dirty, so they provided proper hygiene facilities, and people needed a savior, so he preached. The mission grew slowly, but Booth's faith in God remained undiminished. In 1878, he wrote an annual report, and he said, the Christian mission is a volunteer army. And his son, Bramwell, he spoke up and said, I'm not a volunteer, we're more than that. and he struck out the word volunteer, and he said, "You're right, Bramwell, we're a Salvation Army." So since 1878, we've been known as the Salvation Army. And I'd like to say that I'm very excited that this year we're celebrating 60 years of service in Gwinnett County. We started in 1966. And thank you. I know, thank you. 60 years of service to Gwinnett County, including right here in Snellville. We're proud to mark our 60th year, and there'll be many more celebrations to come. But I want to ensure in the time I have to say thank you to everyone, and also thank you to everyone in the room. We had a successful Christmas campaign this past year, raising over $157,000 in our red kettles. You hear us, don't you? You hear that bell ringing every Christmas, and thank you. And just over $25,000 of that was raised within the Snellville city limits. So thank you so much. We were also able to meet the Christmas morning needs of 57 Snellville families. Mayor Pro Tem Carter was able to see our facility the day before we gave out all these toys and gifts. It was 1,315 children and seniors that we served over Christmas, many of them right here in Snellville. Depending on who you ask in the county right now, there are just over 1 million residents. That's a lot of people. We know that. We're one of the most diverse counties in the entire United States, and I loved looking around this room and seeing how diverse it was just in this room alone. I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun here on a Monday night. I'm going to have to come back. But out of those 1 million people, around 10.5% are living in poverty, and 14% of those under 18 are living in poverty. Last year, our team handed out over 45,000 pounds of food to those who needed it most. In October of this past year, for example, we provided 145 nights of shelter, distributed nearly 5,000 pounds of food, and we, of course, saw an uptick in November because of the temporary loss of SNAP benefits. We went from handing out 5,000 pounds to 9,000 pounds of food in November. We are continuing to see a rise in numbers of individuals requesting emergency financial assistance, like rental, mortgage, and utility assistance. We work directly with our local continuum of care through Gwinnett County and the Latin American Association. Even though we technically don't have a shelter, we are housing families and individuals every night through partner agencies and hotels. Just over 9% of those we served last year were from Snellville. We expended roughly $40,000 in rental and utility assistance for Snellville residents. We served 95 households in total, which for Snellville residents, also including food assistance. Another area of service we offer is our mobile feeding program. We're blessed to get a brand new canteen. We call it our canteen. It's a mobile disaster unit we received back in May. And we take that mobile disaster unit into the streets because we know, fortunately, there's not a tornado that hits every day. You saw that, right? So that typically that canteen sits in our parking lot, and the Majors Ryerson, before we got here, said, okay, we got to do something about this, that this beautiful truck just sits there. So we take it out at least twice a month into parts of Gwinnett County. We feed, it's a hot meal, but we also do a mobile food pantry. Our social service staff goes out if there's case management needs that need to happen. So if there's anywhere in Snellville that you're like, you know what, this area, this extended stay hotel, or wherever this neighborhood could really use that, please let me know, because we'd love to add that to our schedule. We work directly with Gwinnett County Police with that, because there's many areas that they say, no, let me go with you in that area, and we welcome that. But if there's anywhere that you can think of that, hey, we could use the support there, please let me know. For the first time in many years, we're embarking on a strategic plan. We've been working hard these past several months building our committee and creating space for community stakeholders and supporters to come together to share ideas and concerns about what we do in Gwinnett. There's 3 key areas that we must address as we work to achieve our mission, and that is preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ and meeting human needs in his name without discrimination. They are to increase community engagement, enhance our social service efforts, and improve or expand facilities. Please know that we'll be reaching out very soon. I know Mayor Pro Tem has heard me say this. You will hear from me very soon because I want to talk to you directly. I want to hear from you. I want to hear the good. I want to hear the bad. I want to hear your concerns. We want to hear, in your opinion, what do you know the Salvation Army to do, and what are we not doing that you feel we should be doing or can be doing? And we really want to hear from you, and we will be reaching out. Everything we do is for a reason. When an individual or family comes into our building for any type of assistance, we don't judge or look down on them. There is a real stigma around those that need assistance. Are there times where people are just looking for something for free? Yeah, it happens. But I got to tell you, when a mom or dad comes into our building with tears running down their face because they have no clue where that next meal is going to come from, or they don't know how they're going to pay that next bill, it really hits home. You see the need face to face. Most of the time, people are coming to us when they're at their lowest. A family could have several bills that they're just not sure how to pay. They're working full-time, sometimes multiple jobs, and still struggling to pay for the essentials for their family. Do I pay to keep the lights on? Do I pay for groceries? These are real questions that families right here, even right here in Snellville, are answering. Every day is a fight for people, and I assure you, we're in that fight with them, walking alongside them. On May 9th, 1912, our Salvation Army founder, General William Booth, gave his final, most distinguished address to a packed crowd of 7,000 supporters at the Royal Albert Hall in London. Booth's final words sum up the heart of the Salvation Army's mission even today, well over 100 years ago. He said this: "While women weep, as they do now, I'll fight. While children go hungry, as they do now, I'll fight. While men go to prison, in and out, as they do now, I'll fight. While there's a poor lost girl upon the streets, while there remains one dark soul without the light of God, I'll fight. I'll fight to the very end." So you have my word that we're fighting alongside the residents of Snellville and Gwinnett County. Friends, thank you again for having me this evening. It is a pleasure to be here and a joy to be here. If there's anything we can do, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Raymer. Now we have no committee or department report, so we'll move to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda?
There's a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. We have no items under our public hearing, nothing on consent agenda or old business, so we'll move to new business. We have item A, consideration and action on award of bid for the contract for repair of stormwater drainage systems. This is our annual contract that we put out using the stormwater fees that are collected each year from our property owners. The Public Works puts together the bid package listing all of the pipes and other stormwater issues that need attention, and we put that together for one package, one bid to go out, and so we are awarding that contract tonight. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the award for the contract for the repair of stormwater drainage systems to the Dickerson Group in the amount of $896,101.95.
There's a motion to approve the awarded bid. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. Now we have the second reading ordinance 2025-13, ordinance to amend the offenses and miscellaneous provisions ordinance, chapter 38, to delete a section related to loitering, to provide severability, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to provide an effective date and for other purposes. This ordinance amendment is being done to remove a loitering provision that has not been used in the city. We have another provision that the police actually operate under. This one still was left in the code, and so we are repealing that section of the code at this point. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 2025-13.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. Now on to item C, consideration and action on approval of the updated stormwater manual. I'm going to turn it over to Assistant City Manager Mercy Montgomery to review.
Thank you, Mayor. Staff in the Administration, Public Works, and Planning and Development Department did a thorough review of our existing stormwater credit manual. So both private as well as individual residential homeowners are each assessed a stormwater fee each year to provide for the upkeep and maintenance of our stormwater system. It's based on calculations related to impervious surface on properties, and both private and public individual homeowners and business owners can apply for a variety of credits towards that bill if they take measures to reduce the stormwater runoff. So we are including a recommendation to make a slight adjustment in the amount of years for one of those categories of credits. There's a menu of options that folks can choose to apply for, and the bulk of the rest of the updates were to clean up, refresh the visual appearance of the manual, and also update and streamline the application process.
Thank you, Mercy. With that explanation, is there a motion?
I have.
There is a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Any comments by council? Then I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. Then we have our last item of business. We have consideration and action on approval of the fiscal year 2025 budget amendment. I'll turn it over to City Manager Matthew Pepper to go over this.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So per state law, a city department cannot spend more than is in their budget. And throughout a fiscal year, a department may incur more or less expenses than originally anticipated. So as part of our audit process, staff prepares an amendment to reconcile the budgets to what was actually spent. The result of that reconciliation can be either an increase or decrease in a specific city fund. So what we're asking council tonight is to approve this budget amendment so we can finish our audit and record that to the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pepper. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the fiscal year 2025 budget amendment.
There's a motion to approve the budget amendment. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. That concludes our actions under new business. So we will move to council reports, and we'll start with Councilmember Catherine Hardrick.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Hello, everyone, and good evening. And I'd like to say, hola, muy tardes, buenos. Buenos tardes. I'm learning Spanish. So the reason that I am saying greetings in a different language is because one of the things that I've found out in the community is that we have a lot of citizens where English is not their first language. And just like our guest speaker tonight acknowledged that we are a very diverse city. And one of my initiatives is to have a language empowerment series where we work together with our citizens where English is not their first language. And just as I struggle with saying hello or good evening in Spanish, some of our fellow neighbors struggle with speaking English, and that impacts their family. It impacts their ability to have an income, get an education, report crimes, and be a part of our community. So that's one of the things that I want to do. But before I go any further, I'd like to acknowledge Georgia State Representative Shagun Radina in the audience tonight. Thank you so very much for coming. I know you've had a busy day, with today being the first day of session, so thank you very much for stopping by. And I do want to thank each and every one of you for coming in tonight, whether you are in person or will be watching this online, because we do have a YouTube channel, so please make sure you check us out on YouTube. But another portion of my report is very simple. Let's see here. I would like to acknowledge the simple fact that we had a peace walk by the monks, and with the, help me say this, Wat Lao Buddhist Nati Temple in Snellville. And it was a walk for peace. I was unable to attend because I had an emergency. I tore my leg and I'm in a brace now. But so many people tagged me with their personal videos, and I mean how it impacted their life. And it's so important that we spread peace. I'm praying that it is contagious, that it's just not a simple movement then, that it is something that we could carry every single day, walking in peace and showing love in that. So I wanted to acknowledge that it was very, very important that happened in our community right here in Snellville, that came through Snellville, and everyone who was able on the chair to make it, they was able to do that, as well as the chairwoman, Nicole Love Hendrickson, was there as well. I also would like to explain to you a little bit about today's agenda in terms of the stormwater repair, the contract. The reason that I was in favor of that was because all of the hard work that our team, the city staff did in terms of doing the research, looking at all the different bids that we had several bids, and the company that came in with the best affordable rate and the services was the one that they recommended. And that's why I agreed with what's going on tonight, because we want somebody that we can afford as well as doing a great job. The next agenda item, the reason that I agreed with the ordinance tonight in terms of repealing the loitering ordinance, because as the mayor stated, it was unconstitutional. And it was found that because of that, we needed to change that in our ordinance. So I'm hoping that our staff, as they continue to do great work and identify things that need to be removed in any of our charters or whatnot, we do that immediately. And that's something that's very important to me. So I voted to agree with that to be repealed. The last thing with the stormwater manual, where we spoke about it in our work session, how that manual was dated to 2009, and so the staff was able to look at that, make some recommendations, and we approved that because it needed to be updated, and the revisions and the recommendations that they made for the revisions, I approved that, and I agreed with their revisions because it was 2009 since it was touched. Now, it doesn't mean that anything was wrong, but it's something that we're doing moving forward in terms of looking at things that govern our city and making sure that they're updated. And so now from 2009, it is now updated to 2026, and I do agree with that, with the stormwater manual. And like I was informed today with the budget, I had a ton of questions, and my team, you know, the city manager, the mayor, was able to explain to me that these dollars were dollars that were already spent. And I'm talking about the budget, because the budget year was July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. And these are dollars in this budget that was already allocated for and spent. And so every year they have to do an adjustment to adjust the budget to show what they guesstimated was going to happen and what actually happened. So seeing the budget from that perspective, it really helped me understand it myself, so that some of the questions that I had, they were able to answer that. And so that's why I approved the budget, because it was just, it's a caption of what we actually did. Am I correct? All right, good deal, thank you. And so then one of the other things that I would like to mention And my last thing is that I'm hosting on January 17th my MLK Day food drive. It's my 5th annual event, and we are now partnering with Church on Main. We're going to have it there for the very first time, and we're really excited about that. So we invite the public to come out January 17th. If you're in need of any of the services, please feel free to reach out to me here at the city, and I'll be happy to share with you the information where you can go and get the assistance that you need. We're always looking for volunteers. This is a community event because we're only as strong as our weakest link. And so if we see someone in need, we have to rally together and around that person. And so I'm hoping that if you have time on January the 17th, this coming Saturday at Church on Main, we'll be there at 12 o'clock serving resources, hats, gloves, scarves, socks, and food, pantry items, and hot food items. So please come out and support if you're able to do that. Thank you so very much again for coming out tonight, and I hope you get home safe and look forward to seeing you at our next City Council meeting, which is the 4th Monday at 7:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. And now we'll move to Councilmember Rochelle Brown.
Let me start here by saying peace isn't just a message. The commitment to move forward even when it feels uncertain and uncomfortable. I want to acknowledge the Buddhist monks who are currently undertaking the Walk for Peace. It is a 120-day, 2,300-mile walk from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. When I was there, their feet were bare. Most of them didn't have shoes. It was cold outside. It wasn't a political journey, it was a spiritual journey for peace and compassion focused on mindfulness across the entire United States. While this journey and this group, they experienced tragedy. One was struck by a vehicle, and as a result, he lost his leg. And he was still grounded and rooted in peace. He sat there with a smile on his face saying, I would do it again. I share this because it underscores both vulnerability and the courage to be involved, choosing peace, especially when it's uncertain. What stood out is that there were people from every walk of life, different backgrounds, different levels, different stories, yet they banded together and shared the sign and the hope that peace will prevail. That kind of unity is rare, but it's a reminder of what's possible when people decide they're going to let peace win and not division. And honestly, that's really what matters right now. Because while we're talking, they're walking. Businesses are closing, jobs are being lost, families are getting squeezed, and some homes are being just torn apart. And that's not somebody else's problem. That's our community. It's happening right here in this city. I sit here as a part of this council that we have to own that. And what we're seeing today is not just because of one person. I live downtown. It's because of years of work that created what we call the Grove, a council listening to your people and what you wanted and what you needed. A team effort, a set of decisions over time that happen. And we have to be honest about the outcomes and be responsible, not to blame, but it's about taking accountability for what the future looks like. Because in this position on this council, it's not to push individual agendas, it's to move the city forward, the city of Snellville forward with peace. So moving forward, we just gotta tell the truth about what's happening, economically and socially, without sugarcoating it. We have to work in a team, not as a clique, not with personal priorities, dividing the public policy. We have to lead by the laws and building strategies that produces results, because our residents don't need any more promises. You need results. So I'm here to make a difference one step at a time. And while I may not be able to speak to every single policy that hits the desk right now, I will with integrity because the public, you trust us. Not as a pastor, but to perform, to build this city to lead. Now I want to be clear. Solutions are not based on emotional empathy, and not without strategy, and not without discipline, and not without measurable outcomes. All that empathy and emotion, it's ineffective. What I saw during the Walk for Peace reminded me that it isn't about just being quiet in the street and polite words, stability. It's about dignity. It's about the people being able to work and provide and live without pressure and fear of what tomorrow brings in their front yards. Peace looks like the community when I go to the farmer's market. Peace looks like the community when we have the concerts out on the lawn. Peace looks like what's supported in my front yard that I've watched unfold since the moment I hit Snellville. Not only do I see the future, I'm here as just to be proud of a part of it, of what comes next. Now, when they came through Snellville, the Buddhist monks, I may not be Buddhist, but I do know a man that walked with his people. This is a culture we want to build through how we show up for one another, how we lead, and how we make a difference to support and protect and strengthen our community. So if our residents, because there was a lot of people in the streets that came to Snellville in support of unity, our residents can come together and we as a council can build that different culture right here. Not only just to lead Snellville, but choose collaboration over conflict, solutions over speeches, and a long-term good over individual efforts. If we lead like that with intention, with grit and grace, we can move this city forward and with unity, and just to create a space that feels really what Snellville represents is a place where everybody, every single person in this room, every single person in this city is proud to be someone. Thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle. And we'll go to Councilmember CJ Pitt.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor, body, city council, city manager, Miss Mercy, how are you today? All right, so it is a blessing to be here. It is a blessing to be here. That is my catchphrase, and I'm going to always let everybody know it is a blessing to be here. I have the sniffles again, but you know, when you work at an elementary school, it seems like the sniffles never seem to go away. I don't know if it's the sniffles. I feel like it's the allergies, so we're going to stick with that, because when I walked to the school, I started sneezing, but do not tell the principal that. So I'm going to keep this short. I would like to first thank Captain Raymore. Thank you for coming. And it was gracious to have your presence here from Greensboro, North Carolina. My mom's side of the family is from out of Pitt County, so we not too far from you as far as understanding where you're at. I always told people, like when I used to drive through Snellville, when I used to teach at Georgia State, I knew I was going to move here. The energy and the vibe and the spirit you get from here, and even when you come to just shop, you're like, I think I should live here. So that's how I ended up here. So as we talk in the future, I'm definitely interested in understanding, like, because, you know, as Salvation Army, you all probably could have chose anywhere to go. So what about Snellville made you say, yeah, I'm coming to Snellville? Mine was driving through here, like I say, out of Stone Mountain, always saying and seeing the Christmas lights up. And I used to say, like, man, I want to go somewhere where it seems like you really live in a city where they really love and care on you. And when I moved here, Captain Raymer, they did not disappoint. That's how I ended up here. It was because when I got to the city and I started going into these volunteer spaces, they loved on me and they said, come on in. And from that point on, everything for me started off and was about volunteering. So that is my segue into the experience of Snellville. Miss Kelly is one of the first people I met here at the elementary school, because my daughters go to the elementary school. So go back to what you said. No, nothing against you, but I am a Comet. And I know y'all Brookwood people like it, but I am a Comet for life. And that's why I apologize. That's why I met Miss Kelly. And from that point on, when I did the first festival, I didn't know who she was as far as the festivals and what she did there. It was just, like I stated 1,000 times before, I saw a need. I pitched in, but to see a friendly, happy face when the first night I did it, I said, hey, that's Miss Kelly. And I walked up, need anything? She said, I don't really need anything, but if you want to pitch in. So I said, all right. So my biggest thing is still to grow that volunteer sector, for us to be bigger on the volunteer sector. The ladies and gentlemen that's been running it since even before I moved here, they've been doing such an awesome job, and I witnessed firsthand. I'm trying to not say certain things. I don't want them to get me. I witnessed firsthand that no matter if they're retired or not, right, they come in and they work 8, 12, 14 hours. I watch some of these ladies lift things, and I'm looking like, why are you lifting that? I try to run and go take it from them. Back up, CJ. I said, yes, ma'am. And I back up. But it just shows you the spirit here. And I say retirement because at that age, they're not sitting at home saying, let me kick my feet up. They at every festival doing more than what I do. They get there before I get there. I pride myself on volunteer, but I get there around 12:01. They there already 4 or 5 hours already. So it just gives you the spirit of Snellville. And even when you drive through here, something about it, I know we all have our problems. Every family does, every community does, every city does. But what resonates here in Snellville is the good energy and spiritual vibe that you get that make you say, I think I need to stay here and at least see what's up. And so I'm hoping that I stay here for a long time. Captain Raymer, you have a friend in me. I'm all about community, all about service, and definitely linking with you, see how we can grow that and grow our volunteer sector so we get more people to where the ladies that volunteer at the farmers market and the festivals, they can like sit down, put their feet up and tell us, hey, just move that over there. That's what I'm going for. So Spirit Snellville, Mr. Britt, thank you. Everybody, Miss Tracy, Mr. Bora, Miss Rochelle, Miss Stephanie, who I hate naming names because you start forgetting people, Mr. Schultz. If I forgot, Miss Charlene, okay. If I forgot someone, I don't think they're in here, so they're not gonna know. Thank you so much for making it such an enjoyable experience, making me want to give up Saturdays to come and do it. I bring my family, I try to bring them everywhere, so when I was getting away from it, they kind of caught on I was having fun, so they started volunteering too. Guess that's okay for them to do it.
Former council member Mike Sabal out there as well. Former council member Mike Sabal, who helped make the city great as well.
What she said. I'm sorry.
Former council member Mike Sabal is out there also, who helped make this city great.
All right. I apologize for that. I didn't see you back there, and I talked to you earlier today. Really, that's it. So like I said, that's all I have. I hope everybody have a great day. Happy New Year. I look forward to doing a lot of things. One more thing. Keep all of us uplifted in your blessings, your prayers, no matter where those prayers go. It's going to be a long year. This is three of us first year here. Hey guys, we're going to probably make some mistakes. We're probably going to vote on some things you like or dislike, right or wrong. But keep us uplifted and understand that we're here because we have the community in our heart. We're not going to always get it right. We're not going to always vote a way that you might like, but it's in my heart to make sure that I and that the rest of us, I don't feel anything else from them, continue to do that right thing. And that's all I got. You have a great night.
Thank you, CJ. And now we'll go to Councilmember Carrie Hetherington.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Captain Raymer, I live on the Brookwood side of Snellville, and my brothers and sister all went K through 12 all the way through, so go Brookwood Broncos. I didn't actually say that. Also, the other reason that CJ's up here is because he's the Energizer Bunny, and I have never, ever, not once seen him tired after like 14 hours out on the green in July. So, he ain't gonna quit. This is a really great time to live in Snellville. I think 2026 genuinely is going to be one of the best years that we have ever seen. On top of all of the incredible things that Kelly brings every summer with STAT and Experience Snellville, we are also, this is going to be the first year that the Grove is really up and running and active, and I'm just so excited. This is, it's a great time to be on council. It's a great time to live in Snellville and get to be a part of all of this that's happening right now. The Grove Taqueria is now open. I basically live there now, so just forward my mail if you need me. That's probably where I am. As well as Parkside District. I don't think it's too far away. We've got Crooked Can is open, and the Market Building is having their grand opening this Thursday, 4 p.m. Crooked Can will be open. The Mediterranean restaurant is open, and it is fantastic. The Philly cheesesteak place is expected to be open by Thursday. I spoke with the owners of both the pizza and the mac and cheese place over the weekend. They are not quite open yet, but they have hired people, have people on the payroll that they are paying right now so that as soon as they get the clearance, they can open the doors the next day. They are paying people who aren't working because they're ready to open. They just need to get the clearance, I believe, from the county. I also spoke with the gentleman who is going to open the butcher shop. Y'all, I don't even eat meat, and I'm excited about what this man is doing over there. It's going to be pretty incredible. He's going to have chicken. He's going to have tons of different cuts of beef. He's going to be doing barbecue, and he is going to have on one side bar seating, so you can come up and sit and watch your steak get cooked and be served to you there. It's going to be really incredible. And then all of that this summer combined with what Kelly brings every summer. This is going to be the year to be in downtown Snellville. So it's going to pop. So, thank y'all for coming out tonight. We'll see y'all again in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Now I'll turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem Carter.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to begin by saying Feliz Año Nuevo, a gustos mío para encontrarnos. Just to help some of you out, in case you don't know, for the past couple of years, my wife and I have attended church services at Spanish-speaking church services. And we want to set up something else, a meeting where we can get people from Gwinnett County. That's in the works. We're getting them all together, find out their needs and their concerns. And I'm working with some of the religious leaders in the Gwinnett County to accomplish that in the near future. Captain Raymer, thank you for inviting me to your facility. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what you do. I don't think most people in here have the concept of all that you do. You sort of touched on it a little bit, but there is a lot that they do in this community. And I'll be visiting you again soon, and I invite all of you. Take a minute, stop by, just to see their facility. Nice little chapel there, too. Check that out. It's been an interesting month since we last met. I just want to thank all Snellvillians and some people from Gwinnett County, too. No matter your group or your affiliation, for the outpouring of love you showed by your food and toy donations in September. I think what stood out to me was Cricket, Marguerite Agee, she just left. She said something to me when she brought in the contributions from Post 232, and that was, we know we're not going to win, but it's just a joy to be able to give. And that seemed to be the feeling of so many people that come in to eat. The Kingdom of Cambodia came here on Saturday, and I just could not believe how much stuff they were bringing in here. It was fantastic. So it was just a great, great, great moment. There was above and beyond normal food donations left, and we know we still have Give Hunger the Boot. The Christmas toy donations, absolutely outstanding. We delivered our toy donations to the Mellow Mushroom restaurant on Highway 78. They had a huge box in there. Snellville, I know other people dropped donations in there. Snellville filled that box, and when I took the last load, we had so many toys, they had to put them back in boxes because there was no room, absolutely no room. They were so pleased. Snellville, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Next, there has been some misinformation on social media about Snellville officers responding to calls about traffic violations and reckless driving. In most cases, traffic violations are summary offenses. The officer must witness the violation to issue a summons. But your call, if you see something, say something. That's, someone said, oh, well, why do we have to call? If you see something, say something. I'll tell you why. You see a traffic violation, your call will give an officer probable cause to conduct an investigation. Maybe they won't write a ticket for what you saw, but it gives them probable cause. There may be other things going on. Like I said, it doesn't mean that you should not call or notify Snellville Police if you see a vehicle being operated recklessly and endangering lives. That vehicle may be leaving the scene of a serious crime or accident. What you perceive as a traffic violation may actually be an escaping felon. Notify our department with all the vehicle information you have. Don't chase the vehicle. Don't follow the vehicle. That person may be armed. Provide all of the information you have and allow our trained officers to do what they do best: protect and serve. Last month, Sergeant Charles Mattiak, on night watch, stopped a speeding vehicle that was traveling at 98 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. The operator of that vehicle was found to have a firearm and with an altered number. He was arrested. In addition, Sergeant Mattiak arrested 2 other drivers who were racing and driving 90 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. Officers Zaria Presley and Brian Houston made an outstanding arrest at Scenic Highway and Dogwood Road while investigating a traffic accident. They recovered 2 9mm pistols and a large quantity of narcotics and drug paraphernalia. Again, folks, don't stop or walk up to people you don't know. That's what the police do, all right? In addition, Officer Stephen Berry was cited as Snellville Officer of the Month. From significant arrests to vehicle investigations to attendance at community events, he was all over the place and doing an outstanding job. Is there any wonder that our police department has been cited by our governor as the best in the state for 2 consecutive years? That is a compliment to our leadership and the fine folks who step up to protect and serve us all. I thank you, Chief Perry. I thank your team. On Martin Luther King's birthday, Monday, January 19th, I'll be hosting Girls Without Chains. They'll be here for their day of service for Martin Luther King, and they will be preparing gift bags for mothers who are incarcerated in prison. That's my report for today. Love you all. Hope to see you again soon. Have a good day.
Thank you, Norman. I would like to thank Representative Shagan Adina for being here tonight. It has been a long day for you with the first day of the session, and I neglected to announce you when I called the meeting to order. I got onto autopilot. But Representative Adina has been a great friend to the city, and we appreciate all the work that he does at the Capitol for us. I would like to also shout out 2 of our officers who received commendations from the Gwinnett County DA's office. Officer Christopher Lash and Officer Taylor Mossman intercepted someone who was entering the city with the intent to come and kill his ex-wife. They were able, through information given them by another police department, they stopped the vehicle and were able to take that suspect into custody without incident. So I'd like to give a shout out to them. And as Norman alluded to as well, with some other officers and the work that they do, we really do have an incredibly awesome police department. And with that, I will close my mayor's report and I will open the floor. Oh, one other thing. We have, Carrie mentioned a ribbon cutting at Crooked Can on Thursday. We also have another ribbon cutting for another new restaurant here in the city, Thai Delight Kitchen, Sushi and Bar. They are open on 78 at Cooper Cooper Road, that intersection, they're in the Cooper Village Shopping Center where Main Street Restaurant used to be. They're doing a ribbon cutting on Wednesday, January the 14th, so this Wednesday at 11:30. So I hope you all will come out and support this locally owned restaurant. Everybody wants the non-chain restaurants, and we do have quite a few here in the city, but they need to be supported. So please make sure you're supporting those restaurants. So with that, I will close my mayor's report. I will open the floor to public comment. Please, anyone who would like to speak 5 minutes or less on one topic, provide your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mike Sabak, 1600 Somerview Way, right down the street. Falafel sandwich at the Mediterranean? Okay, great. Well, let's do it. For those who don't know what falafel sandwich, Google it right now. It's one of my favorite sandwiches, by the way. I'm gonna take this opportunity because I did look and found out that there's a solid waste contract, proposal out there for someone to come and bid on the solid waste. And I did speak to some of you about some of the concerns that we have in my subdivision. I live in a corner house, and a lot of people know I've been in the city for over 3 decades. A lot, probably 36, I think. You know. So I just want to put a bug in your ear about the situation. First of all, in the city, we have done a great job doing what we're doing. It's fantastic. As far as the solid waste, we had lived, at least I did, for the past 20 years, not paying for the solid waste. This was a free gift to us, which is great. I mean, it was awesome. Suddenly, you look at the tax bill, it's double what the county has given us for the senior citizens like myself. So the concern was, what do we do with the senior citizens? Well, there are several options, as you know now. We're paying about $20 a month. It's not a big deal, but you look at some of the folks that came and spoke with me, and they went through their analysis with me. I feel their burden. So when you do look at the contract as it comes, by the way, CJ, thanks for you, because you brought it up in the work session about a month ago, maybe it was, and you did use the, hey, how about the seniors? What do we do with them? So seniors on fixed income face higher relative financial burden, especially with the ones that don't make a lot of money, maybe living just barely on Social Security. So single occupants, and we have on my street, we have 5 ladies in their late 50s, middle 60s, live alone. So you can imagine the solid waste they produce is not the same as the ones with the 4, 5, 6 people living in the house. Another option is pay as you throw, which is one of the things that seems to be a big thing in the United States, not just this city, but other cities that I was doing comparison on, as far as these options. And the other one is, I know Mayor Bender would know that very well, the CPI. Look it up, base contract adjustment. So do not just offer the contract without putting the contractor or the hauler to have ownership in the process, just like we do. So CPI might work. That would be something that to consider. Simply a bug in the ear. I wanted to do that, and Kat, put me in for the 17th of January. I'd like to be there, and I appreciate you doing that because like the captain said, this is really cool. This is important. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for what you do for the city. I appreciate it so much. Matt, thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else?
From Community Reports, I'd like to thank Mike Sabah for what he did for his neighborhood. He reconstructed the the entrance sign. A lot of that money came out of his pocket. So I appreciate him keeping up with his neighborhood and making it look attractive as you enter. Some things that have been reported to me is a bridge that has been tagged on Oak Road, Passive Park, with blue spray. I have messaged the police department without an answer to please keep an eye on that area for any kind of graffitiers. Grease is being left in the neighborhoods from the garbage trucks. Street lights are slowly being replaced by the LED. That is a blessing. Snellville Veterans Eternal Flame is out again. And if everybody wanted to say a prayer for the 2 to 3 residents that are living in Snellville Pavilion, we've got one that'll be there 3 years come next month. We also have a lady that's been there 7 months, and now I found out there's a child in that car. I stopped CJ this past week. I was out on Church Street, and apparently 2481 is becoming a dump. And I think it was cleaned up at one time, but as the apartments get put off, trash gets cleaned up, and then people come back dropping mattresses and refrigerators. The barn the doors are open, and I think there's trash and stuff inside there. There is a encampment in the back. There's 2 tents behind the barn. These are things that the city just needs to be aware of. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rollins, anytime you see that the Eternal Flame is out, you've got my number. You could just shoot me a text if you don't mind. Anyone else?
Hey friends, Stephanie McDonald, 1957 Tanglewood Drive. I just wanted to say that Snellville Performing Arts is headed to, I feel so short. The big, I can't even stand right in front of it. It's fine. The big Junior Theater Festival that we go to every year is this coming weekend. It's always MLK weekend. So we just hope that you guys will be thinking about us, sending good vibes, break a legs, all that stuff as we head there this weekend. And then hopefully we'll have some fun news to give you guys when we get back for the next council meeting. Yay. Thanks.
Good luck with that. Anyone else? Seeing none, oh, absolutely.
All right, I don't have an address in the city, but Georgia State Representative Shegun Adeyina. First of all, I'd like to thank the mayor and city council for allowing me to be here today. I must promise you I will be here every meeting. And also the residents. Being that I'm still new to your district, I think it's important why I'm here today is to listen to what's going on in our community. Because when we're at the state capitol, we shouldn't be guessing about what the job that we're doing. We should be doing the work. And the only way you do the work is by listening. So I'm here to listen. I'm here to lend myself as a servant, someone just like you that is elected to do the job that we're here to do. So my office is, I'll leave my card and my information, but please reach out. Any issues that are going on, I might not have all the answers, but I can point you somewhere. Even have to point you back here. All right, so thanks for having me tonight, and God bless you all, and great 2026.
Thank you. You are always welcome. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will close the public comment and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. That is 6 in favor with none opposed. We are done. Thank you all for coming out tonight.